Cancer, here are your messages for the week of December 22nd through the 28th. You need to have some patience this week, Cancer. You need to have some patience. For the most part, the patience is for yourself, right? And it for others as well, but for the most part, you need to have patience with yourself. It's like you're trying to heal yourself, right? Because the next card is the wounded healer, right? It's like you're trying to rush your healing, right? You can't speed up healing. You can't do that, right? It's like if you have a cut on your arm and it requires stitches, it's not going to heal by tomorrow. And even if it starts to heal, the scar is going to be there. It's going to take time to close up and then heal up, right? And it's like you're expecting some deep wounds to heal overnight, right? It's like you're telling yourself, like, why am I not healed? Why am I not healed? I'm over it, and you're not, right? You're not over it. It's obvious that you're not over it, right? So, like, if you need to have patience, right? This healing process is not an overnight thing. Sometimes it takes months. Sometimes it takes years to get over some things, right? It's like every time you think you're healed from it, something comes back and triggers you. Or something else comes to mind. It's like, oh, well, dang, I thought I was healed from that, but I'm not, right? So why is it that you think that your trauma or whatever pain that you're going through is supposed to be healed overnight, right? And it goes for other people too. It could be other people around you that are also trying to heal. And you're just like, well, you should be over this by now. You don't determine when someone else is going to heal, right? Like you don't determine that. You can't wave your hand over their wounds and heal it immediately, right? And if you can, that's great. Do that, right? But it's just like you don't have that capability, right? So stop it. Stop trying to rush your healing process, and then stop trying to rush other people's healing process. This is something that you need to be patient with. If you're not going to be patient and you're not going to be truthful about the process and what it takes to heal and how long it's going to heal, that's why you're still the wounded healer, right? Like, how can you help others heal or help others grow when you can't even be patient with yourself or people around you that are healing, right? How do you do that? So you need to be patient. Have some grace. Give yourself grace and be graceful to others, right? This is not, again, something that's going to happen overnight. If you were to get into a bad accident, or you fell down some stairs, or you tumbled really hard, right? You have scrapes and bruises all over you. Again, you're gonna be sore for a while. You're still gonna be banged up for like a week or two, right? Like, you're gonna be bruised up. Bruises don't go away in a day. Scrapes don't go away in a day, right? You're scraped and scarred on the inside. It doesn't go away in a day, right? And it's different because when you get hurt on the outside, again, it's like immediately starts to heal. Sometimes when we have pain and trauma, it doesn't immediately heal, right? First of all, until you acknowledge that it's even a pain or a trauma, like, you can't really begin the healing process, right? So you need to be more graceful with yourself during this whole process, because you're not. And again, it's like you're not only being like not graceful with yourself, but not graceful with others. So you just expect everybody to heal overnight, you and all the people around you, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, say if you got into a pretty bad You know what? No, we're gonna take it back. Okay. So say if someone in your family passed away tragically, something happened to them that was tragic, right? That's like out of the normal. Somebody did something horrible to them. They were, I'm not gonna go into details. Say if they could be on a documentary or something, because that's how horrible it was. It's like you're expecting yourself and everyone around you that was affected by this trauma to just be like, okay, well, we're done. Like, the person's not here anymore. Let's get over it, live on with our lives, right? It's like you're not allowing the time to face all of the emotions. Like, number one, you're dealing with this person's gone. Number two, you're dealing with the tragedy of how they left, right? Because it's not like, and grief is like, it's hard anyway, right? But like, if somebody passes away peacefully in their sleep, it's like we still grieve them, but it's like peaceful. So like, oh, that person's at peace. But when something tragic happens to someone, it hurts you even more, because first of all, you don't want your loved one to go through that much pain, right? So you're not only grieving the person not being here anymore, you're dealing with the traumatic things that they had to deal with before they left this earth, right? So you're dealing with their pain, their trauma, your pain and your trauma from the situation, and then everybody around you is dealing with their own pain and stuff from the situation. And you're just like, it's like, if that's the case and you understand the traumatic things that are going on, why are you expecting everybody to heal by tomorrow, right? Like, be graceful about this, right? Have some type of understanding to, again, not just yourself, but to others as well. Like, why are you being so, I should be over this, I should be over this? No, it takes time. It takes time. You need to surrender. So, like, it's like almost like you're not, and that's kind of like weird, because, usually, you're a water sign, right? So it's like you guys are usually emotional. You guys are usually in your feelings. You usually deal with your feelings, right? Process that. Surrender to how you feel. Surrender to the universe. Surrender to what is happening around you, right? Because you're not, it's like you feel so many emotions to whatever. I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's in general. Like, you might have had several things happen to you over a course of a week or a couple months, right? Like, just things on top of things, right? Like, this happened, and then the next day this happened, and then that happened to you, and then I'm not even gonna get into trauma, like actual trauma, because that's not what it's about. It's just a matter of, if a whole lot of things that were traumatic happened to you over a course of a week or 2 weeks or a month, right? Just like every day seemed like you woke up and some, like, I'm not talking about like your car didn't start trauma. I'm talking about, something happened where your cousin was unalived, and then the next day, your aunt found out about your cousin, and then she, was passed away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you had several traumatic experiences over a course of a short period of time, right? It's like you were like, oh, I'm strong, I can deal with this, whatever. But you never dealt with the emotions and the trauma and the pain to it. You never surrendered to, this is what's happening, right? You never did that. So it's like you need to just understand that, number one, you are wounded, and number two, take the time to heal it, right? Surrender to the pain, surrender to the universe or your higher power, however you believe, right? Whatever you believe in, surrender to that. Surrender. Let it out. Let the emotions out. Let it flow, right? because it's like you're not. It's you're not. And I think, again, like, you need to not just have grace, but it's like you're trying to put up a front where, oh, I'm okay, nothing's wrong, like, I'm just gonna get up in the morning and make sure I look fresh, right? Like, I'm just, throw on this nice outfit and make sure that my makeup is done nice, make sure, my beard is trimmed right, I look right, everything is on point. And it's just like, you can do that all day, but it doesn't matter. You need to surrender to your emotions and surrender to the feelings, right? Because you're not cleansing yourself, right? And that's what it could be too. Like, you need to have a good cry. You need to let out your emotions. You need to let out what's going on. And you're not, and part of that is, again, is purifying yourself. And purifying yourself could mean a lot of things, right? I will say it again in case it's not the first time you've seen, or if this is the first time you've seen a video, right? Purifying yourself is like a lot of different things. It could be purifying yourself by releasing people, releasing emotions, crying, and releasing, like, cleanse your soul, because you got too much stuff stored up and you need to release it, right? It could be you need to take a spiritual bath, take a bath with, salts and different herbs that can help cleanse you, cleanse your aura, cleanse your vibrations, cleanse your spirit, cleanse your the negative energy away from you, right? Sage yourself, Palo Santo yourself, like, do whatever it is that you do to cleanse yourself from negative energy, right? Go take a swim, go whatever, right? But you need to do that, because it's like, you have to do all of this in order to get to your purpose, right? Like, all of these things happen to you for a reason. All of these things obviously made you stronger, but it's like, if you don't acknowledge the pain and you don't acknowledge that it's even happened, and you're just like, oh, it happened, I'm not even going to acknowledge it, it's too painful, I'm going to keep moving, then how do you understand your purpose? Because your brain is just, it's like your body and your brain is still holding on to that. Even if you're going on like, oh, I'm having fun, I'm living life, it's like, if you don't process what's going on, then how can you get to your purpose? Your mind is not clear enough for you to get to the purpose if you're going to continue to hold on to the traumas, right? Like, yeah, like, it's like you're stuck in the past. You can't get to your purpose if you're stuck in the past. It's time for you to change. It's time for you to go through this transfiguration. It's time for you to do that, because this is part of your destiny. All of those things happen to you to help you grow. And if you're not dealing with what happened, then you're not going to grow, right? You're not going to grow. So you need to really have more patience, again, with yourself and others around you, and let yourself heal and understand that everybody else is healing as well. And it's a process. Even if it's like, it's not the same thing that happened to them as it is to you. Like, we all have our own pains and traumas, and you don't get to tell anyone else what they should be over and how they should process their feelings and their emotions. Just like they can't tell you that. And the same grace that you need to really truly give yourself, you need to give it to others. So this might be a week of enlightenment and healing for you, and I wish you the best.